space has retaken the reins at NASA. James Fletcher was head of NASA once before in the 1970s, when, to most Americans, the agency could do no wrong. As ABC's James Walker reports, that is no longer the case.
With President Reagan looking on, James Fletcher was stepping back into one of the nation's most difficult assignments today, director of NASA, the grounded space program.
Jim, you're coming on board at a time when NASA and the country need you. We need a steady hand in the tiller. These past few months have been a stormy period for NASA and the space program of the United States.
I must say that we've got a little bit of business ahead of us, but it won't be long before we're flying again.
But 2 hours later, at his first press conference, he was less optimistic about meeting the scheduled 24 shuttle flights a year.
Until we really feel confident that we're ready to go, it may be a few years before we get up to the 24 per year flight rate.
Fletcher takes over at a time when NASA is facing almost daily attack for serious mismanagement that contributed to the suspected failure of the solid rocket booster's O-ring seals. One source on the Presidential Commission investigating the tragedy today cited a February 1979 NASA memo in which the makers of the O-ring itself, Parker Seal Company, said that the, quote, O-ring was being asked to perform beyond its intended design and suggested a different seal should be considered. That change never took place. The source was also strongly critical of NASA for its continuing failure to explain to the Commission why no corrective action was taken even after the problem became known. In closed-door testimony released this weekend, Commission Chairman William Rogers charged that NASA officials tried to cover up the difficulties with the O-ring seals. He also characterized as shocking the apparent transfer and demotion by Morton Thiokol, maker of the booster rocket, of two company engineers, Roger Beaujolais and Alan McDonald, who had told the Commission they warned against launching Challenger. The new NASA boss refused to comment about the Morton Thiokol action, but said he wouldn't treat his people that way.
I would never punish anybody at NASA for having testified openly in a hearing or anything else. That's not NASA's way of doing things.
Perhaps the biggest problem facing Fletcher is NASA's decision-making process. As one source on the Commission told us, the failure of NASA officials to fix the booster rockets was a lapse of judgment. The real problem, he said, is that it went on for one hell of a long time. James Walker, ABC News, Washington.